Alright guys, so next mod that I'm going to be doing on the car is some headers. So I got these headers from AmericanMuscle.com. DNA motoring headers. They're very cheap, okay? So these are like the cheapest headers that you can get on AmericanMuscle.com. The black ones, the black version of these was completely sold out. They have numerous reviews on the black ones, and the reviews were all really good. Okay, these steel ones, they don't really have any. They only have like 2 reviews, but the reviews are good on those too. So it looks like hopefully this will be a pretty decent product for a good price. So the reason why I went with headers is because there's a lot of mods that I've been wanting to do on the car. I've been wanting to do a lot of different things on it. I want to change. I want to get the headlights changed out. I want to get a chin splitter put on the bottom. There's a lot of different things that I want to do to the car. I need to get my dashboard fixed. My dashboard's all cracked and nasty. So there's a lot of things that I wanted to do. I want to get a short shifter. But I went on AmericanMuscle.com. I saw the price of these headers, and I was just like, you know what? I want headers as well. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and buy the headers. They had a lot of good reviews on them. It looks like they're equal length headers, which is pretty cool. 4-to-1, so that's pretty cool. So I just decided to go ahead and go for that, and so I'm gonna install them on there. I did a before sound for the car. I did a video for the before sound. Once I get them installed, I'll go ahead and do a video for the after sound as well. It comes with everything you need. It comes, of course, with the headers. And then, of course, it comes with the equipment, the bolts, and the gaskets and things that you need. Alright, so the second mod that I'm going to do today, or this weekend, I should say, is I'm going to be installing the BMR motor mounts. And these motor mounts are supposed to be substantially stronger than the mounts that I have on there right now. They're supposed to be substantially tighter, so there's going to be a little bit more vibration and harshness, but they're adjustable. So I've heard a lot of people saying that when they install their headers that they're having issues with the clearance, especially when it comes to the steering knuckle. You could probably see the steering knuckle right down there. So sometimes the engine is too low or the engine is too high, so they're having issues with that. So I'm going to go ahead and put those mounts on there as well, and hopefully that way I can adjust the height of the engine, put it a little bit lower or a little bit higher as needed. And of course I will let you guys know what I ended up doing, whether I ended up putting the engine a little higher or a little bit lower. I'll do some videos here and there interspersed throughout this main video, talking about certain issues that I've had or certain things that I've dealt with. But for the most part, this will be a before and after type of video. I don't really have the camera equipment to be filming at all times, so, and I don't want to give you guys a poor quality of video by me constantly moving and shaking around the camera and all that kind of stuff. So I'll intersperse some of the things in here with it, but for the most part, this is going to kind of be like a before and after. All right, so this is a partial video, part of the way through the job. So right here you see I got the mid pipe. I went ahead and pulled the exhaust manifold out, and I made the mistake of not taking the oxygen sensor off when it was on the car. So, and then on top of that I had a problem where I rounded off some of the bolts. So I rounded off one of the bolts right here. So I went ahead and got a new oxygen sensor. It's like $50 each. They're very expensive. So if you can, if you got a pretty good oxygen sensor that's still working on your car, go ahead and try to just, manage to get this one off without rounding it off and without causing any other problems. But other than that, I did get them, like as you can tell, I got the manifold off. I went ahead and cleaned out the head where where it meets up. I apologize for for the video. Could be better considering. You know what? Let me go down underneath and I'll get a better look at it from underneath. So, as you can see, there's the mating surface of the head. I ended up cleaning it off. It did have quite a bit of debris on it, build up on it. So what I did was I went ahead and got some of that. What's it called? I got some of this right here, Lucas multi-purpose parts cleaner and degreaser, and with a brass brush. I used a brass brush to go ahead and clean up the mating surfaces, make sure that they're nice and clean. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on getting the. I took all the bolts off, as you could tell. I took all the bolts off because it's easier for me to clean it with all the bolts off. So. I bought some new bolts in case I needed to replace some of the other ones, and there's a couple of them that I feel like I'm going to definitely need to replace. So I'm going to get in here, put these bolts back on, and try to get that header put on this side. This is the driver's side right here. As you can tell, I did not remove the steering component here. I am hoping that with being able to manipulate the height of the engine, that I will be able to get that header in here without having to mess with the steering. Okay, that is one thing that I did not want to have to mess with, is getting that steering off and getting it back on and everything like that. So hopefully I'll be able to get everything back on without having to get the steering column taken out. So that's where I'm at right now. This is the driver's side. I haven't even started on the passenger side yet. So this has been a couple of days already. Alright guys, so you know, I started that other video underneath the engine, but I went ahead and cut it so that way I could discuss what I ended up doing and how things ended up happening without the huge sound of the engine in the background. I know that could be annoying, especially when people post videos and they're talking and then all you can hear is just noise, you know. So basically guys, what happened was the headers were replaced and the motor mounts were, the standard manifold, exhaust manifold was replaced, and the standard engine mounts were replaced. Getting the manifolds in there, getting the new headers in there was a pain. Okay, on the driver's side, you're supposed to take the steering shaft off. I didn't take the steering shaft off. I made sure to raise the engine a little bit higher than what I probably normally would, and I was able to get the headers in there through the steering shaft, and it was a pain in the ass though, I ain't gonna lie. It might be easier just to take that steering shaft off if that's what you're so inclined to do, and I think that's what you're supposed to do. But you know, for me the steering components and the, you know, the clock spring and all that other stuff, it's just too complicated for me. I didn't feel like messing with it, so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and just try to get it in there without it, you know, and that's what I did, and it worked out pretty good. So I got the headers in there. Passenger side was, I would say, probably more difficult in the sense that I'm right-handed, so I had the jack right here underneath the car, underneath the engine, so it was kind of dividing between the two of them, and I had a little bit more trouble with this side just because of the fact that I'm right-handed, and I had to do a lot of my work left-handed on this side. You know, I got the motor mounts both on there. Once I got the motor mounts both on there, I was able to lower the engine again. Then I was able to put on the mid pipe and everything like that. Like I said, guys, this job is a pain in the ass. Okay, now if you have a lift, an industrial lift, where you can lift the car up real high in the air, it might not be as bad. But when you're down on jack stands and you're down low on the ground and you have to constantly get up and get down and you're dropping tools and you're busting your knuckles, it's a pain, but it's doable. And the reason why I say that is because if I can do it, trust me, you can do it too. Okay, So if I can put some headers on a car, if I can do certain mods on a car, trust me, you can do them too. So that's the part of the reason why I make these videos. I make these videos to show other Mustang owners or other people in general, you know, hey, these types of things right here like this, you can do them. It's going to be a pain in the ass. It's going to take some time, but you can do it. And I'm not a mechanic. You know, I'm just a regular guy who likes to mess with cars. And so it's kind of like a hobby of mine. But yeah, I went in and took it for a test drive, and everything sounds pretty good. There's a little bit more harshness than I anticipated, but I think that's probably due to the fact that down here at the bottom, one of my engine mount bolts is rubbing up against my headers, and I knew that before. I needed to take it to a shop to get it looked at, so that way I could maybe get that cut off or something. And I just haven't done it yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and see about getting that cut off to where maybe it'll lower it a little bit more, because I think some of that vibration is transferring from the header into the motor mount. So, and that's not really what I want, because then that transfers into me more so than normally would. But yeah, other than that, the car definitely sounds louder. Okay, it doesn't have to me, it doesn't have as much of a low pitch sound as it used to, but it's definitely louder. And I took it for a test drive, and it's definitely got more power. I can definitely feel the power increase. I have not gotten this car dynoed, so I don't know exactly how much power it put out before when it had the stock headers. But I can tell you, driving it, because I'm very familiar with this car, of course, I can tell you that driving it, you could definitely feel the increase in power from the stock manifolds to the headers, and that's without a tune. Okay, and speaking of without a tune, so far driving it, I drove it for about 20-25 minutes. I didn't get any check engine lights or anything like that, so that's good. Oxygen sensors are working good. Everything seems to be working good, so hopefully that'll stay that way. Next job, I have been hearing some of that ticking sound coming from the engine, so I am going to get this, but particularly on the driver's side valve cover. So I will be getting that checked out, and hopefully that will probably be my next project. I'll probably be taking this valve cover off and you know, getting in there and changing out some roller followers or something, because last thing I need is for this engine to blow up because I didn't do basic maintenance. So that's probably gonna be the next thing I do, and I'll keep y'all posted. Thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you got any questions or you got any suggestions, don't hesitate to put them down in the comment section, and I appreciate it.